Hello, all of you beautiful people, and welcome to the Republic Stud Show.
So, Matt, welcome to the
Hey,
Republic Stud Show.
a pleasure to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you. So, hey guys, welcome. First off, hit the subscribe button. We're going to be talking to Matt Mellish, famous Lego TikToker. Look at him doing all these hand movements. And that's the animated guy. This guy. And I think we're gonna dive right into that. So I start this series the kind of the way I start off every episode. It just what's going on? Like how do you get started? I want to hear your full life story. Try to summarize it the best you can. Straight from your birth. I want to know that. I want to know how you got involved in
It was a cold,
Lego.
snowy night in November, and
Oh my gosh. This guy is great. So yeah, just spill the beans. People want to know the guy behind the TikToker.
okay. And then if you have any questions, you can ask me as I go, of course. Hey, it's great to meet all of you. If we're meeting for the first time, I currently am on TikTok primarily doing Lego content there, and I'll get into what led me to that point. But I have always loved Lego. There was a point in my life where I didn't really, because, well, I'm an open book as well, so you can ask me pretty much anything, and I'll be able to talk about it. But as a kid, I went to a very small middle school. I had very few friends, we'll say, more people who liked to pick on me than I had as friends at the time. And they had all, in the second grade, really loved Star Wars. They loved Lego. They loved the things that I love now. And at that point, it had really pushed me away from it because it was people I didn't want to necessarily be associated with, that I didn't really want to be friends with. And I angrily, after school one day, got in the car after my mom picked me up. I was like, I'm never watching Star Wars. Why would I want to do that? And she's like, you can't just hate on something that you've never tried before, that you never attempted to watch before. And we then, the following week sat down and she rented the VHS tapes at the time off of one of our friends, and we watched Star Wars A New Hope. And my mind was just blown. I loved it immediately. I had so many questions like, why is R2-D2 making these beeps and whistles, and why can I not understand him / her / they, it? I don't know. But I mean,
Imagine
Star
starting
Wars
on
really...
the prequels. What is a trade dispute? Like 8-year-old. That was me. I'm like, what is a trade dispute? My parents are here trying to explain it. So like you had problems figuring out R2-D2. I had trouble figuring out intergalactic banking issues.
Oh, but the prequels are for kids. The prequels are for kids,
Right?
man.
No,
Yeah.
I mean Jar Jar does step and poop. That is right. Those movies are such a mix. Like they needed to man.
Well, and that's the thing. Star Wars is truly for everybody, and it's really for families, I think. And that's the beauty of it. Just like Lego as well.
Story.
Lego is not just for kids. Star Wars is not just for kids. It's for everybody to appreciate and enjoy. But the Lego stuff came following my love of Star Wars. I got my first set at my 8-year-old birthday party. It was a pool party, and I got the 2005, 2006 AT-RT from Revenge of the Sith.
Classic.
So, such a good set, right? Such a good set. And back in the day, sets, they were very different than they are now. They were a lot more simple, and it opened up the mind to more, I think, creativity in a sense. But I still love Lego. I've followed it over the years. I had a brief dark age during high school and into college just because I had a lot going on in my life. I was a theater kid. I did cross country and track. Then I wanted to kind of save money in college. I was working 4 different jobs, taking 18 credits of schoolwork. I actually majored in graphic design and marketing. So that's also kind of lent itself to helping me with TikTok and social media. It propelled me into that direction even farther. But the reason that TikTok started is actually because of COVID. I have a lot to thank COVID for, ironically.
Me too.
My heart goes out to all the people who really had problems, who lost loved ones, who maybe got really sick. But for me, it really opened up a lot of doors. And for you, you said?
Yeah, I mean, well, I want to go back to something you were saying, like wait, like when you started, because and I'll get to that, I guess.
Okay,
So,
yeah, we won't get behind.
yeah,
Go for it.
I mean, no, no. So like you mentioned a thing about like how a lot of other kids liked it. So back when I was like 6, 7, 8, all I loved is Muppets. All I wanted to talk about is Muppets. I didn't want. And I'm thinking, like, you were saying that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, like, all the kids liked Lego Star Wars. Like, and I knew that, and that was always in the back of my head, but I haven't thought about it until you brought it up. Like, my dream was always, I wanted Lego Muppets. Because, like, I like the concept of Lego. I had some Lego SpongeBob. I never had Lego Muppets. So I'd, like, go on eBay and look them up, but they never existed, so I'd go on, like, hoping, oh, maybe someone listed one today.
Aww.
I did that, like, for 2 years, and here we are today. But so I think as I got older, so the reason I was able to get to watch Star Wars in the first place was my parents convinced me to watch it because it had Yoda. Now Yoda was voiced by Frank Oz and a Jim Henson puppet, same voice as Miss Piggy and Fozzie and Animal and the rest. So that's how I got to watch Star Wars. I started with the prequels, did not like the prequels at all. Obviously now I appreciate them more. And then after I did the prequels, did the originals. I love the originals; they were great. And that was 2013, 14. I don't know. But I know like The Force Awakens came out 2 years later. So that was pretty neat. And then I guess with COVID, since we're like I had always kind of been doing YouTube. Like I do weekend uploads. I did this weird thing. I had like less than 1,000 subs. I was a fan account of a channel, Daily Tactics. And he did like cool clone stuff, so I would like do videos based off of that. I think I was called Commander Rico, and then lockdowns happened, and I was like, awesome! I have a whole 2 weeks off to finish the stop motion I've been working on. 2 whole weeks, that's amazing. 2 years later and 40,000 subscribers later, here we are.
It's awesome.
I am very happy about it. So I want to, this is your podcast, so I want to hear your story. Most of the people watching this from my end probably know a decent amount about me, so we're here to find about you. So you mentioned you started COVID with TikTok. So like, what happened there?
Okay, so my junior year of college, life kind of just took over. I found myself miserable in school. I was working, like I said, 3 to 4 jobs. I had a ton of schoolwork, all project-based, and I was losing my mind. I felt like I was, at least, because I felt like school wasn't propelling me in the direction that I wanted to go. I thought to myself, why am I here? What was the point of all of this? To get a good job, right? That's what the point of college is. At least that's what we're told. And you spend a whole lot of money to get that piece of paper.
Yeah, you're paying $200,000 for a piece of paper to say, look, I'm somewhat competent.
Right, exactly. And what I did with college was trying to take every opportunity that I had in order to gain experience to put something on my resume. And I definitely overworked myself, so don't do that, kids, if that's what you're planning for school. But I had always had the dream of working for Disney, like many creative people. And I, on a whim, applied to the Disney college program. It didn't tell anybody, didn't even tell my parents, and I didn't think that I was going to make it very far into the process, but I thought to myself that I wanted to kind of prove that I was worth it. Like, I would be worthy of working for the company, as I was at that point. And so I applied, led to the second step, led to the third step, final step was the interview, made it to that point, and I thought to myself, holy cow, I didn't anticipate on going this far.
Yeah.
Then I got the role offered to me of being a PhotoPass photographer, which was the role that I had wanted.
Well,
and
sick.
I tell my parents, like, hey, I think I'm going to Florida for next semester. And they're like, what? What are you talking about? So I explained it to everybody. I had to find a new roommate to replace me for where I was staying in college. It was a mess.
Yeah.
But ended up going and working for Walt Disney World for 7 months during the Disney College program. It was fantastic. It was phenomenal. It was everything that I wanted and more. Nothing is perfect, but I had the experience that I wanted to, and I proved my own self-worth to myself, and so it gave me a lot of confidence in a sense. I had great leaders, and they wanted to keep me on working for the company. So I took a seasonal role, and I was planning on going back down after senior year because I still had one more year to go.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you're thinking, how does this relate to Lego and TikTok and social media at all?
We're getting there.
Well,
We're getting there, guys.
COVID happened. And I turn around and I'm furloughed, then I'm quickly fired. And I knew at that point, like when COVID hit, what was going on. I figured it was going to be more than 2 weeks to slow the spread, as you kind of alluded to, 2 weeks turning into 2 years.
The first, initially I thought it was going to be, 2 weeks. And then we got a weekend. I'm like, maybe it'll be another week. And then the week after that, I'm like, it's going to the summer now. Like, I'm like down. I'm done. This is my summer break. It's 6 months summer break.
Exactly. And you know what? I think for a lot of people, myself included, I think you as well, it gave us a chance to really reflect on kind of what we want, what our trajectory is that we are choosing here. And it made me certainly rethink going to work for a large corporate company versus doing my own thing. Yeah. And I had always dreamed of doing my own thing. I, as a kid, grew up watching, at the time, Lego Boy 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 was his old channel, and then he rebranded Solid Bricks.
The original.
I have continued. Yeah. The OG, baby.
Absolutely.
And, I grew up watching a lot of mock builders on YouTube, and I always thought to myself, I would love to do it. I would love to create videos about Lego, about Star Wars, about the stuff that I love talking about. And so TikTok, as an emerging new platform, gave me that opportunity because I knew from the research that I had done, being somewhat of a fan of just digital marketing in and of itself and the work that goes into that, I knew what it was as a platform, and I had a feeling that it would become, it seems to be becoming, which is something that's going to rival the bigger platforms like Instagram, YouTube, Facebook.
What are you talking about? Rival? It's beating them. No, I'm serious. Like I don't know if you saw, this was probably about a month ago now. Because TikTok has amazing algorithms. Like I'm personally like, I'd rather TikTok not be big. I'd rather it be YouTube or one of these other places. I'm generally speaking, I don't know, because I feel like with TikTok, like the American government, like there's no control there at all. So there's no way we could regulate. So effectively, it's up to the whims of whoever's in charge over in China. So like here, we can at least hold Facebook accountable to our laws. We can't hold TikTok accountable.
Well, there is a American kind of wing of it that controls what happens here, because
but ultimately it's owned by. Yeah.
Ultimately, yes, but I don't believe that there is as much control there as everybody kind of thinks, and I don't think there is as many connections between the other wings. Like, I don't think the American group talks to the European group, and I don't think either of them talk to the Chinese group, because Chinese.
No, I'm just saying, like, the main corporation that owns TikTok. That's what I'm saying. So like we could call in Mark Zuckerberg, and we could call in all these people, but we can't call in whoever's in charge of TikTok, I guess. That's
I think there's a CEO of the American side of it.
Yeah.
Could be wrong, but this is just what I'm.
Well, it's like it's divisions, it's branches. Like BMW, they have their like Saudi Arabia branch and their Europe branch. Yeah. No, no, I said Saudi Arabia and then Europe. That didn't make.
Well, it's a very complex understanding, and I think that's why people have a hard time comprehending why it is or isn't safe. And I think a lot of it is an emotional reaction of TikTok is just it's Chinese owned, and I don't want any part of that, and it's also these young girls dancing. Well, hold on, buddy. The platform has definitely changed in the past 2 years. You're thinking of a different platform. It's very much different now than it was even a year ago, which is different from what it was 2 years ago.
And it really depends on the communities you're in, because TikTok's an odd platform. And I guess we'll get into that in a second, but I kind of want to go back to I guess real quick. So like
sure.
like TikTok is beating Facebook. Like Facebook had a massive stock dump, I know, because like they showed their retention is way down. TikTok's was way up. YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, I believe even now, and Snapchat, they all have their own shorts, essentially, or their own reels or whatever they call them, in replication of TikTok, because this algorithm where they're trying to keep retention and they're able to do it. It's like when you watch a YouTube video. There's something I learned, like when you're doing YouTube videos. If you don't have someone's attention in the first 15 seconds, you lose them. That's just a fact.
Oh yeah.
Like
TikTok is even quicker as well. It's like 3 seconds.
TikTok is the 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And that is the thing I find fascinating, and I think that's why TikTok is going to remain dominant, and something will replace it eventually. There always is.
I think TikTok is going to rule the niche, and I think it's a failure on other platforms to think they can copy what TikTok is already the best
They're
at.
not going to be able to be better than TikTok. TikTok's always going to be the number one. I'm saying like there's going to be something that is going to supersede. So like you started with something like MySpace, and then you moved on to Facebook, and Facebook was the revolution thing, and then you had Instagram, and then you had Snapchat, and then it just it adds on. So TikTok's going to end up fading to be about as relevant as, say, YouTube is, which is still relevant. YouTube's still very relevant, but it's not as relevant as TikTok as much as I would like it to be.
YouTube will always win the long form content game, and I think that the platform is altering because of how good TikTok can take someone and give them the dopamine hit that they need over and over and over again, whereas YouTube is almost going to become, in my opinion, like equivalent to Netflix, to Disney Plus, to other streaming services. Really? And I think the format of content is going to start changing. That's just my prediction. That's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm seeing. I've heard some other people talking about that as well.
I mean, something I worry about with YouTube is essentially what we're getting now is just long-form TikToks. Like, you'll have a Mr. Beast video. Everything Mr. Beast does, you'll have a 15-minute video, you can make 15 TikToks out of it. Because it's just really fast-moving. Okay, $10,000 for this. And that's kind of... And it's smart. He's making great money on it. But I'm worried that might end up destroying the platform a little bit. I'm not too worried because I know there's like a huge audience. But as new audiences come into YouTube, you're coming in with, I guess, the Coco Melon generation. I can't think of any better words to do it. I know I'll watch my cousin. He's like 5 right now. Because I don't get this form of parenting. For a lot of people, I guess it works where they just put an iPad in front of their kids. I don't know if I do that, but I'm not a parent, so who am I to say? But like, so he'll like he'll have his YouTube on, and he'll just have like a Ryan's toy review, and he'll like click the thumbnails that look colorful and have the most toys in them, and I'm like, whoa, like I'm fascinated here watching him doing this. Like, he knows exactly how to use this platform, and not only that, like he knows what kind of videos he wants to watch and how long he's gonna watch. It's like, man,
you need to get him to watch your content or to scroll through your videos and to see what he taps on and what he doesn't tap on, to understand maybe what adjustments you should make for yourself.
You see, so he's 5. So, like, getting him to watch any of my stuff, because I don't make that fast form content, and he's also not interested in Lego. So it's a double win. I mean, so it's kind of it's a weird space. He's like, I do a lot. I talk very informationally. So I'll give information, I'll give thoughts and opinions, I'll give reviews. I don't do... I will sometimes. I take that back. Like, I'll do like I'll convert a set into something else. I'll make those fun videos. I try to spice it up a little. But yeah, I find it overall just fascinating. So like right now you have what, 700 something thousand subscribers?
716 something around that.
Somewhere around. So okay, guys, we're back. Minor technical difficulty there. You didn't notice anything. So he has 716 something thousand. As far as I know, you're the biggest Lego TikToker out there. Is there anyone bigger than you? Sacred Bricks is.
I think Sacred's doing pretty well. I don't know what he's at.
Sacred's nuts.
He's killing YouTube. Him and TD Bricks and Generic Stud, they're all rocking YouTube because they have that format. They know exactly what they're doing. They're ending up on trending, which is incredible as well.
I saw that. TD Bricks had a video on trending. It was like 24 on trending. I was like, whoa. Crazy. Like, he had this, what was it? He had this video on, like, where he went to Legoland and got kicked out. I think that's, like, probably the best video I've seen in the community in a really long time. And, like,
well, it's taking that fast-paced format that we were talking about, the Mr. Beast
Yes.
formula in a sense, and just plugging it into Lego.
I honestly think he's following like more like the Ryan Trahan format, which I actually appreciate a lot more. You know him, right? So like,
Yes.
he's doing the penny challenge now, and I'm like fascinated by the series. I'm watching it. It gets a little repetitive because it gets very repetitive actually, but like I still am in love with the concept, and I feel like his channel is proof that this long form content still exists. Like people will still sit through it, but which makes me very happy and gives me some hope. Because I like as much as I love Mr. Beast, I think he's great. I'm starting to like his videos are starting to feel too fast. I feel like I'm like, yeah, it's crazy. Like slow
Sometimes
down.
I
Let me
watch-
take in this entire factory you just built. Don't just like casually pan over it. Like I want a full in like for me, I'm like I want a full detailed room tour. Like in the Lego community, we have room tours to show you your Lego room. Oh, here's this set I have. Like I want a room tour of Mr. Beast's chocolate factory before I go and do competitions in it.
Yeah, we need like a behind the scenes, I think, beforehand. I don't know. Sometimes I feel dizzy and exhausted after I watch a generic stud video. So
Yeah, no, I see that. Generic stud, man, he knows how to edit. He knows how to edit very
killing
well.
it,
Really cool
killing
guy.
it. But
okay.
bringing it back to TikTok. So
Yes.
I don't know what Sacred's at there. I do know that Ethan the Artisan is one of the biggest. He's a good friend of mine. We do a weekly show called Stud Buds Together on YouTube. With a couple other guys from TikTok, but he's at 1.1 mil.
Really? Wow.
Epic Bricks, who's a Bricklink seller, he also been doing some just very good concepts on TikTok that work very well.
What does that mean? Like content?
So, like for instance, I think a video is not always about necessarily the editing or the execution, but more or less the idea, and especially on TikTok because. This is what his concept for one of his video series is taking a white base plate, putting it out in the sun. He lives in Arizona, I believe,
Yeah.
and seeing how yellow it becomes versus the test one that he's keeping inside of his house in a drawer,
Yeah.
locked up. But like that works very well on TikTok. That idea makes people want to follow to see the other videos in the series. So Ethan is also he's got the format down. He's very fast paced. He does a lot of his own mocks, much like a TD Bricks or a Sacred.
Yeah.
But he keeps them very small, and so it's a very condensed version of what one of their YouTube videos would be. And he's also on YouTube. He posted a robot video the other day that he did, and it was fantastic.
That's awesome. Oh man, no! It just started raining here, and we have all the cushions outside. So now I'm like
No.
freaking out. So
Need to
and
run-
they're
need to run
already
and
wet
check on
now,
it?
so it doesn't matter.
Oh,
But
no.
it wasn't supposed to rain today. It wasn't there. Yeah, I mean the TikTok crew over there. I'm still trying to familiarize myself with you all. Like y'all are great. I'm not big in TikTok. I have like 8,500 followers on TikTok. I'll upload
That's
occasionally, but I'm not like dedicated. It's
I know
just
the
not my
feeling.
thing.
I'm the same with Instagram. Yeah.
I don't enjoy it as much. It's really just not my thing. It's cool. It's just not my thing. I don't find I try not to spend time on TikTok because I find it unhealthy. So I think
Where
that's
did
a
the
part of
time
it.
go? TikTok. Where did the time go?
Exactly. Really? Is that where that came from? It has to be.
I don't know. That's what I think of it as.
Yeah, TikTok where the time. No, that's creative. You should license that.
For a t-shirt.
Yes. Yeah, and I'm kind of curious because like you have a really big TikTok platform. I've talked to a few big TikTokers. I've talked to Mini Superheroes Today and SC Dude on this podcast so far. So I guess you'd be the third major one I've talked to. What do you see in the difference between what do you see in like the TikTok communities? Is there one? Like I looked up your name on TikTok and I see like a handful of like fan accounts. I don't know if you've seen that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, I have. And actually, somebody who I had met at a previous convention out in Rochester, who also makes content,
Yeah.
he wasn't following me yet because that's a whole other thing. But well, the thing about TikTok is that because you're always on the For You page, you sometimes forget that you're not following certain people.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of the way the platform works, because you're not necessarily viewing your friend's content. But he didn't realize that he was following me, and so he started following me, or who he thought was me, and it was a fan account.
Yeah.
But I view that as very flattering, although somewhat annoying, because I'm sure he's not the only person that that's happened to.
Yeah.
But the one thing about the TikTok community that I absolutely love, and I recognize this at Brickworld Chicago, it was very, very visible. You're a very open group,
Yes.
because it is still very new.
Yes.
And so it's a lot of different people, and that's what makes it so unique, so fun to talk to all the different creators that are making content, because we all have our own individual style. We're all our own characters. It's the same as YouTube in that sense. But I don't know, TikTok is just, it's such a new thing still after all this time, that it affords you, I think, more creative freedom. And I really would view YouTube as having.
Yes.
It seems like
That's
YouTube algorithm is very specific in its nature,
Yes.
while TikTok can make a random video and end up on the For You page and get millions of views very, very quickly.
Yeah, TikTok, that particular thing, because I never really considered it. Like, because like with YouTube, we've had about three, from what I believe, there are about three generations of Lego YouTube. You have like the old guard, you have the Brick Queen and the Brick Show and Jang Bricks, most of which you have pretty much faded out into irrelevancy. I guess you could include Solid Bricks in there, but like not really. Like because like he was kind of like, I don't know. And then you move forward, and then you kind of have like the more like mid 2000s era group. So you'd have the M&R Productions in there. You've had the Ashton Flash and the Just Too Goods and those types. And I guess
Republic Studs.
Yeah, I think I consider myself more a part of the new guard, like the COVID era. It's like me, Emma Soros, Holly Unfeld. Like we all came in like COVID time and blew up. So there's been like history in that area of the like community. For TikTok, you are the first generation of everything. Like you're in at the ground floor. So that's like makes it really exciting to me. Like that almost makes me want to get involved more, because like you guys get to be in on the ground floor, and you get to grow alongside it, and you know whether you like it or not. Now you are a fixture in the Lego space, and you're always going to be. Oh, remember. Because you're one of the big accounts on TikTok, or one of the few big Lego Star Wars accounts. So I genuinely think that's cool. Like that's really cool that you get to be a part of that, like that first wave.
It's very flattering that you said that. But it's also, it gets me excited hearing you talk about it that way, because you know when you're, and you probably know this, when you're filming in your four walls, sometimes you forget, you know, why you're doing it, and that's a nice reminder of, you know, we're the first generation in a sense on the platform.
Yeah.
And we're an example to future generations of content creators as well. Now, I will say though, I think there is already kind of a split between like the eras on TikTok already, because there was COVID times.
Yes.
Now that COVID is pretty much over, there's this kind of new guard that has also come in, grown, and some of the old guard I think has kind of gotten a little more relaxed, a little more tired. Work has started back up for them, so I know a fellow content creator by the name of OP1. He's from the UK. He's just now starting his YouTube kind of career as well, and you know he had 2 years or a year at least of taking his time from work and having more opportunity to create content that he never saw coming. And so he really used it. But now that the world is opening back up, or kind of has opened back up in a sense, is to go back to work. And so he can't focus his time on TikTok. So he more or less picks and chooses what he does. And he's not the only example of that.
Yeah.
There are new people coming in as well. It's always cool to see new accounts growing and evolving. And the whole, I think that TikTok as a platform, because it's been changing as well, since it is, in my opinion, still in its infancy. Yeah. I think, you know, every month TikTok becomes a new platform as the algorithm changes, so it makes us change as content creators in reaction to it.
Yeah. Um, so something I want to hit on, because this is something that, like, this is my main reason I'm not big on TikTok, is there's no serious, from what I can tell, like, the community isn't as prevalent. Now here, I'll explain this and you could debunk or agree.
I'd love to hear your thoughts on this as an outsider, for sure.
So from an outsider looking in, so like I have my YouTube community. On YouTube, you have a platform. You go on YouTube, you type in Republic Studs, you click on the channel, you have all my videos here, you have your playlists, you have the community tab, you can see what I'm up to, you can check out my Instagram, every little thing. And you know, you get to be involved with this person in their community. You could get in their Discord and that sort of stuff. I'm not saying TikTok can't have that. I'm saying that the problem is when you're scrolling. So like say you get 100,000 views on a video. How many of those are real viewers that you have actually genuinely impacted? Because how many times have you just scrolled through a TikTok? Probably a lot. So like that's a part of it. So like how many of those are real, first off? And second off, like you look at the comments, I guess, even then. How many of the comments are like real, genuine people who just like you for you? Like people, a lot of the time with YouTube, I'll never forget. My buddy Daly told me this. YouTube is like 50% content, it's 50% personality. With TikTok, I feel like it's going to be like, it really depends on what you're doing. Because you could have a really good personality and you can make a really good TikTok, or you could have a really good content. So it's a completely different ballgame. So I'm wondering, what are people buying into on TikTok? What is it they're watching your videos for? And what does the community look like there? Because it's just so different.
So you're kind of asking in terms of the creator to viewer relationship, in a sense. Okay.
Yes. Is the rain picking up? I'm sorry.
The rain picking up? No, I can't hear it from this call. I cannot hear it.
Oh, okay. Well, then that means it's probably not picking up. Sorry, guys. I'm just like, okay, I hope that doesn't screw us up.
Quality assurance here. Quality assurance is very important for these sorts of streams.
Absolutely.
Okay. So it is weird, and you've pointed out a flaw that I've experienced with TikTok as well. It's not about the numbers. It's never, to me, been about numbers, and I think to a lot of people it sometimes is, and that's what makes them want to create content. But for me, I love creating, and TikTok is the outlet for me to do so, because I find YouTube very hard in terms of spending a ton of time on a video, not knowing if it'll do well. You know, maybe it flops, maybe it doesn't. But with TikTok, I can put as much out there as I want, still care about the quality, but if it flops, it's okay. I'm already on to the next one. It was only 15 to 30 seconds that I, created. Now, to be fair, sometimes a day of work goes into a 15 to 30 second video. That's just, the nature of my content compared to somebody else's who is a bit more handheld, bit more authentic in that nature. Whereas I really like editing my videos on Premiere. I love recording it on my camera. I just find it more enjoyable. But YouTube is a bit longer. Anyways, so I don't care about the number of followers that I have. I do care about the loyalty of those followers. A lot of the time where that relationship is built is on live streams.
Really?
So if you go live on TikTok, well, live streaming has also changed due to the algorithm. But now, at this current point, if I go live on TikTok, I'll have between about 50 to 150. It fluctuates. It goes up and down, depending on the time of day, depending on what I'm doing. If I'm just sorting versus if I'm actually building something, the numbers will change. But that gives us the opportunity to actually have a one-on-one conversation with viewers. I feel as though TikTok has a smaller barrier than for viewers and followers to communicate, rather than YouTube. I see the barrier being much larger.
That's true.
Because I don't know what it is, and I think it's because TikTok is truly focused on authenticity, and it's more about personality than actual content. Obviously, you need a strong hook. You need a good video, but it really is about the personality of the creator. I think more so than YouTube, in all honesty. Whereas I think production value is higher when it comes to YouTube. You have to hit a certain mark because you're competing against so many other people.
I mean, honestly, because what you're describing that, and basically how you're describing that is how I feel about Instagram. Because I feel like in my ideal world, Instagram would have YouTube, essentially tagged onto it because I think Instagram is like the ideal platform. You have the stories. You can post videos. You can post pictures. You have you could DM people very easily. They can message you. I love Instagram. Instagram I'm using all the time to interact with my fans. Pretty much all the interaction that happens, short of me commenting or responding to comments or community posts, all the interaction I have in my community goes on my Instagram. I'm not a big Discord user. I used to use it a decent amount. Like I don't use my server as much as I probably should be. And it's like my server. But like Instagram, I find Instagram so fascinating. I'm always on there posting on my story or doing whatever. Just I like to interact with people, and I have not as big of a following as my YouTube, but like I don't have to put as much like craziness into it. So like I wish that would be something because I that's how honestly I think that's my advice for how anyone who wants to get started in this space get started there because you get to actually interact with people one-on-one, get them to watch your stuff.
And Instagram really isn't the platform for me, and I think it's because there's so much, it's hard to focus on what you're posting between stories. Am I going to make a story today? Am I going to just, take a nice photo, or use a carousel and make a photo post? Or am I going to repost a TikTok and make it a reel? Like, what am I doing today? There's just so much to offer, which is a good thing. It's a blessing and a curse, really.
Yes.
Me, if somebody's getting started, I highly recommend TikTok because it's so easy to grow. Yes. If you're going to get on Instagram, Reels is the way to go because that's where a lot of the organic reach is, meaning that you can be easily discovered. But what I love about TikTok is it's basically one thing you have to focus on. You're making a short form video, and it's very laid back. I think more than Instagram. Yep. Whereas I think there's a certain professionalism that still comes with Instagram, and I think that's gone away now that Reels is a thing because a lot of people are reposting their TikToks and it is a lot more casual.
Yeah.
But TikTok, I think, is it's just so authentic. It's just, it has to be you or else it's not going to read right. That's why you have to have, and I try to do this,
I find that difficult with TikTok. Me. Yeah. Like with TikTok, because I feel like, this is part of why I don't do it. I feel like kind of inauthentic with TikTok because you have to so hyper edit everything. And I get that. I think it's cool. Obviously, it plays into the algorithm and everything. But, like, I feel like when you're hyper-editing stuff so much, you can't actually express anything. There's nothing that's going to be expressed. You can't go on Instagram. You can put on your story. You put your thoughts on the Kenobi series. You can't really do that on TikTok. And you could. You can do it on TikTok. You totally could do it. Just nobody's going to watch it.
I'm gonna push back against you there because I would say that I'm one of the people who likes the hyper edit because it's what I enjoy. Yeah. And that's also another thing about TikTok is like you can do whatever you want.
Oh, this isn't a knock on hyper editing at all. I'm just saying like in terms of like no. I'm saying like I said I like them. I think you're cool. I'm just saying in terms of like genuine. Like I feel like that you're getting the most genuineness when you're able to actually interact. I guess I get the community stuff. I get the live streams. I guess that. And I guess there are live streams on YouTube and Instagram. Yeah, Instagram has live streams too. So
I would say that TikTok, if you do post an armchair video where, hey, I just watched Kenobi, here are my final thoughts on the series, and you briefly talk about it, and it could be all in one take. I've seen plenty of people do it.
No, absolutely. I'm saying you have to, like you said, you briefly talk about it. Like, you don't get to get in the nitty-gritty of why you think this is wrong. Like, unless you want to do a 26-part Kenobi episode analysis. It's
condensed. It's highly condensed to fit the format. But I also view TikTok, and I've talked about this before on other shows like this, view it as marketing and YouTube being the business.
Yes.
In a sense.
Yes. I mean, I totally agree with that. I kind of look at TikTok as like you're reading, I guess, the cliff notes of the book, in a way. Like this is the essential plot. These are all the main bullet points that you need to know to go into the test. Like they're gonna ask you, these are the questions, these are the answers. So I think that's a good way of looking at it, and for a lot of people that works. And they take away message, but I feel like you're missing out on a lot of the, the specifics, I guess.
That's the YouTuber in you. That is the YouTuber in you. And that's why I consume I consume most of my content on YouTube because I do like to get the full picture of things. I think TikTok is the trailer to the YouTube video. Now, I'm just at a point in my life where I can't create YouTube content because of time restrictions, etc. But ultimately, that's my goal, is to get onto YouTube and do more videos and use TikTok as the advertising to do so.
My favorite thing is someone will come up to me, or like I'll be talking to someone, and they'll tell me this fact that they know with such fervor. And it's like, where did you hear this? TikTok. I'm like... there's the eye roll that goes alongside it. I feel like where like you've heard like you'll have a discussion with a teenage family member or someone, and they'll give you some this is a fascinating thing that happened, and it's like, where do you learn that? Yeah, but as a pure entertainment platform, it works. As an information platform, it sucks. I don't like the I don't know whatever goes on TikToks with the dances and the politics. I like the entertainment aspect. Like you'll have a lot of people go on there, do some great stuff. So that I certainly like about it, and I certainly see it translating. I think TikTok's gonna get better and better and get rid of more of the bad ends of it. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Because I'm excited for the platform because there's 1 billion+ users now. So I'm excited to see what the future of it is, honestly.
Crazy. It's crazy to see how much it's grown and changed since I started on there. And I began as an art account.
Really?
So I posted one Lego video. Yeah. I posted one Lego video. It was a small mock that I made, and it was like, oh, look at my Lego art. And it got like 40,000 views. And I'm like, gosh. I gotta post more Lego videos. And so...
I wonder if they promote, like, everyone who uploads their first video. I wonder if they, like, over-promote that to, like, get people excited. Like, look how many views I got. Like, do they do that?
They do.
Really?
They do. Yeah.
Because my first TikTok like mine got, like, 10,000 views. And I was like, whoa. Okay.
Now you're hooked. Drug.
Yeah, it's... You see, it bothers me. Because, like, I'll do a short on TikTok that takes me 10 seconds to do. Like there was one where I turned a $5 pack into a Republic Fighter tank. It was a pretty pathetic video. I did it in like 3 minutes. I put it up to TikTok. What is it, like 400,000 views later? Like the official YouTube video I made. And you see, this is the other thing with TikTok, and I'll be honest, you make no money off of TikTok compared to YouTube.
Correct. And it's because it's a very small pool that the creator fund is being drawn from. I don't make any money through the creator fund, really. I mean, I do. It's minimal.
You get like pennies.
Compared to the work that I'm putting into it. I get more than pennies.
Well,
I get more than pennies.
But like, what is it? Like, you get like 10 cents per 10,000 views?
Something like that.
Yeah.
The thing is about TikTok is that I've seen a lot more, and I've not been on the YouTube side of this, so maybe it's just a lack of understanding for me. I think that followers have an extreme level of generosity when it comes to donations in live streams. I've made a pretty I've made a pretty significant amount of money doing that. But the thing is, TikTok does take a large portion of it, just as YouTube probably does.
Hey, if it makes you feel better, YouTube does that. YouTube takes 45% now of stream donations. So I'll go through Streamlabs. I'll tell people, like, I don't know, maybe you could do this, like where you just
my Cash App. Here's my Venmo.
No, not even that. Like you could use Streamlabs. I don't know if it'll show, like, you won't have the marker show up that shows you have donated, but like you could give shout outs or something. I don't know. But like if you get Streamlabs up there because it connects to your PayPal. That's what I try to do, but some people, use YouTube, which is fine. I'll take what I could get. I just don't like seeing 45% of their money not go to its intended destination.
You would think that they would feel the same way as well.
Yeah, I mean, like technically, like with ads on YouTube, so we get a decent amount on ads from YouTube.
Sure.
But like on top of that, we're only seeing 45% of that. YouTube takes 55% of all the ads that are bought for them. We don't see 100% of, say you're a company, say you're Lego, and you want to buy an ad with YouTube. YouTube will put ads in all the videos. They take 55% of the ad, give the creator 45%. I'm still okay with that because it's their platform. It wouldn't be here without me. I don't mind that. With the donations, I mind a little more because like that's someone personally saying, I want this to go to you. And they don't tell people 45% of this will go to YouTube. Like they should specify that before they before they let people donate, because they make it, I assume that, like, whenever I donate on a stream, like, okay, well, all the money is going to the person, right? So I think that's kind of a shady bit of a thing. And I guess it's in terms and conditions, so people don't read those.
No, they don't. No, they don't. Just scroll on through and hit accept, degree. No, and I've been very lucky with brand deals as well on TikTok to get a few of those through the platform. Right?
You just got
Zavi's been very kind to me. I'm now an ambassador with them, so they've sent me some Lego sets and some clothing to review and unbox, which is really nice. And then I earn a very small commission if somebody uses my affiliate link. But I also worked with Quest Nutrition. I don't know if you've ever heard them. It's like an energy bar company. It's like a protein bar. They're in Walmart. It's funny when you go out and you see somebody's brand and products that you've worked with. It's kind of cool. But
yeah, you want to hear something crazy? So I was sponsored by Flexi Spot. They do standing tables. They sent me a standing table. It's amazing. I didn't really hear of them. They sell stuff on Amazon, and I'm like, oh, they're like the main seller on Amazon. I go into like school like a couple days later. My teacher has the Flexi Spot standing desk. I was this close, and I forgot when I was editing the ad because I was like rushing it out. I'm like, this stuff is so good. Even my teacher has. I even recorded a little video of her standing her standing thing. And I wanted to do that so bad, but I forgot.
Awesome.
But yeah, it's like crazy when you're like working with these companies that like people have actually heard of. Like I'll work with random like clone custom companies, and they're all great. I love them. They're all amazing. Love those guys. Or I'll work with any custom company, but like these are like actual, real, like legit things.
No, I agree completely. It's always nice to even just get more experience under your belt. It is difficult though when they ask you, hey, what's typically the price that you offer? And I'm like,
I get that all the time.
I don't know, especially when I'm just starting out.
I mean, so you have 700 something thousand. I think you could get away with saying like 1.2. I mean, I've been offered that for like some videos. I haven't taken any like that yet. Because like I don't know if you get the emails. Like you'll get the spam emails.
Oh yeah, I get the
Hello,
emails.
We are a PR manager. My rule is if they send you a file, you don't accept. That's a no. Of course not. I did get one from Raid Shadow Legends though. I was this close to working with them. I actually worked with Mercari. This really annoys me. I'm gonna have my friend clip this into a thing because we do like clips. So he's gonna be watching this. So I did a deal with Mercari. I had a contract, everything. So they needed me to make a video on buying a bunch of Mercari stuff. It was gonna be great, and they were gonna give me $1,200, I believe, to work with to buy stuff.
Nice.
And I get to buy stuff, do a full video on it, advertise, show what I bought, and then afterwards, I guess I keep whatever's left that I didn't buy. I buy all the stuff. I buy roughly like $600-$700 worth of stuff. And then they decide, like because I can't sign the contract yet because they haven't had the video prepared and the contract still has some minor drafts. Mercari pulls the rug out from under me and say, oh, we've ended our advertising campaign. We're moving to TikTok. So I just drained $600-$700 on this whole venture for them to pull that out because I wasn't able to sign the contract yet today. I didn't have the goods to deliver, which I couldn't have because I need to buy all the stuff and for it to all be shipped and come to my house to do a video on it. And I still have that video just sitting on YouTube.
Has to be some legal breach somewhere.
There isn't. I didn't sign a contract. I didn't sign a contract yet, so. And like it was Mercari. Like I think M&R Productions did a video with them too. So he probably did the same thing. Yes. He just happened to get his stuff on time, and they didn't cut it off yet. So
Louise.
Yeah, so that hurt a little bit. And I'm like, well, I have a TikTok platform. Can we like do something to recoup? And my manager, like the guy that was working with it on me, I think he got fired because he managed this whole situation so poorly, like with me and like a couple other people, I guess. And this other woman's like, yes, we're sorry. Really sucks, but like I don't have control over it because like there was a separate firm that they hired to like hire creators. So like they didn't have control. Mercari was just saying, okay, this is what we want you to do. So Mercari didn't even know about me. So it was really this group they were working with.
I think it really goes to show that, well, I mean, it's a hard-earned lesson.
Yeah.
And that's $700 out, but it's a lesson nonetheless of you need to sign the contract first before you're gonna drop that sort
Absolutely.
of money.
And there is a light at the end of the tunnel. One of the things I got on there was a minifigure haul. That minifigure haul came with about 175 minifigures. $175 was a part of it. It was really good. It was Star Wars. I did a video on it. It now has 100,000 views. So I made money off of that. I got another thing. It was a Mandalorian's N1 Starfighter custom set, which I had been eyeing. I believe I got that in that haul. So I'm like, okay, I still got all the value out of it. I could turn around and sell those things and make my money back and extra. So it's not a loss. I ended up making it all back. It ended up all being fine.
Right.
It just, it sucked at the time. It really did, because it was a much more significant portion of what I was making. That was like, I believe at that point in time, so that was like back in February. That was like a month's salary for me. So, it is what it is, but it sucks.
I learned a good lesson along the way. And what advice that I have to offer anybody who's getting into this, and if you're working with a brand or even yourself, you probably already know this, but if there's one lesson I learned while working with brands, it is ask more than you think you're worth.
Yes,
absolutely. You think you're worth nothing, and you're giving them a lot more
They'll
than
give you
you
nothing.
think. Yes. So if you ask more than you think you're worth, you might just get that money, and it might be very nice.
And they could always say. So counter offer is
exactly.
Great.
Exactly.
So Matt, we're gonna try to round this off. So what are your future plans? We end every podcast like this. I want to know, what are your plans? How do you want to be in the Lego community? What is your end goal here? Is it to be full time? And I think we were gonna talk about that, but I guess we're pushing it to the end now.
Sure. No worries. Man, the time flies. You have to have me on that again, and we can actually talk about Lego.
No. Crazy, right? We spent a whole entire podcast not talking about Lego. It's nuts.
It's all tangential. Okay, so my future goals. Well, I am actually
Wait, you're glitching out. Wait.
Glitching out.
Okay, you're back.
Back?
You're back.
Okay, sweet.
He's back.
As well. Okay. Back, babe.
Oh, and he's glitching again.
Am I actually back?
Count to 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Beautiful. Okay, you're good.
Okay. So, future plans. My current position at work is being terminated. It's related to COVID-19. So, with that being said, I am hoping to pursue content creation full time, which is a big leap of faith. So, I'm excited because I felt like I have been held back, not having enough time to be able to put it into content to make it full time. Almost like if you're going to do full time content, you have to work up to it.
Okay. I get what you're saying. I mean, I legally cannot do a full-time job, do it full-time right now because I'm in school. So I'm legally not allowed to just not go. But I totally get it. As I've been in summer break, I've been able to get so much more done. I've been able to make the quality of my videos so much marginally better. I've noticed it, and my views have noticed it too. So you intend to make this full-time content creation? Do you intend to spend more time on Instagram Reels, on YouTube Shorts, that sort of stuff?
All of it. Beautiful. So primarily I am a short form content creator at the moment. Mm-hmm. I've experimented with YouTube. I'm a perfectionist when it comes to content creation, so that's where the time component also comes into play, and I need to learn how to let go of a lot of that. Yeah. But especially with YouTube, where I want the production level to be as high as it can be, it makes it more difficult. But I'm really hoping to use the success that I've experienced on TikTok to propel my YouTube channel to grow that to its fullest potential. Mm-hmm. And like I mentioned before, allow TikTok to be the marketing for YouTube, which will hopefully become the business. But really, I don't view any of this as work. what was that?
Oh, and that will be YouTube will be your, I assume, main revenue stream. That's the hope. Are you monetized?
Not yet, just because, like I said, I'm not very consistent with my content.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, I have 8,000 subs on YouTube, but I rarely get 8,000 views on a video that I post because I'm so inconsistent. So,
Yes.
I think for me, working on consistency is the big thing. That's a big goal that I have.
Mm-hmm.
And also trying to find my own format on YouTube, because I think that so many other people are just kind of doing the same format in a way from like an outsider perspective.
Yeah. No, I get that.
But using what I learned from TikTok, the success that I've experienced there, to then also impact whatever that format ends up being. So still being me, but kind of juggling all of the platforms, and if I can make a small amount of money on all these different channels, all adds up, and it allows you to make what you love be a career. And I hope that none of it ever becomes work, because if it does, then I will immediately not do it anymore, because I just love it and I want to continue loving it as much as I do.
Well, you could like your work. That's a thing too. So it could be work, but you like it. All right.
Well, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life.
Absolutely. All right, Matt Mellish, legendary Lego TikToker. Thank you so much for coming on. This was a super fun podcast. This was usually we're talking Lego or something. This time we dove all over the place in terms of content creation. It's so much of a fun conversation that isn't had enough in the Lego space, to me at least. So it was awesome to have you on.
Awesome to be here. I completely agree. I find, I do some other shows, like I mentioned earlier, Stud Buds being one of them. And yes, it is fun to talk about Lego, but it's always fun to get off topic, to go down the different rabbit holes, and to maybe also enlighten other people who are viewing this.
Yeah, absolutely. Where can people find you?
Obviously TikTok, @Matt Mellish, Instagram, @Matt Mellish, and YouTube, the channel name, you guessed it, Matt Mellish.
Wow.
So same
really
as
creative guy
on all platforms. Branding. It's all about branding, people.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Well, thank you, Matt. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out. Stay awesome.